Guys, energy weapons and like space-based weapons are not specifically new to talk about when it comes to like building something that's going to be circling the globe that has the ability to kind of aim down and hit a target. That's not new. These are not new conversations, let's say. But apparently Russia is attempting to most likely, or could, how about this? Russia could be attempting to build or deploy some type of space-based weapon. I don't think that's the greatest thing in the world, but if you want world domination, that's kind of where you have to go, I guess, right? But I would say that every country probably should do some type of satellite, missile defense type of thing to kind of, swat away any type of, ICBM that may be affecting or have the ability to affect you and your constituents, let's say, right? It'll be really important. But nothing too sci-fi like these direct energy weapons that have the ability to kind of hit a target with energy, or even the rod of God, let's say, where they have like a physical media, let's say, not media, bro, what's it called? Like a physical projectile, let's say, right? That's going to be attached to a satellite, has the ability to hit a target with as much force as humanly possible, because it's being shot from a satellite. These kinetic weapons are interesting, let's say. But all right, let's go ahead and jump into this video. Apparently Neil deGrasse Tyson is going to be having a conversation regarding it. Let's check it out. It's a suggestion via Discord, guys.
Tonight, the White House is confirming a new national security threat, that Vladimir Putin's Russia is hell-bent on putting an anti-satellite system into space.
Okay.
The Republican chair of the House Intelligence Committee first set off alarms, and now a U.S. official tells CNN that the threat may not be a weapon designed to attack humans, but it is still cause for concern inside of the Pentagon. For more on this, I want to bring in astrophysicist Neil deGrasse Tyson. He's the author of Accessory to War, the Unspoken Alliance Between Astrophysics and the Military.
Yeah.
Really quickly, that was kind of my worst fear before jumping into it. Anti-satellite makes sense if you're not an aggressor. Like if you are in a nation or come from a nation that is, specifically not known for being an aggressor in certain aspects, like I would say the American government probably shouldn't have these neither, because of the same reason why I'm going to say Russia shouldn't have it. If you're just going to be taking out satellites, other people's satellites, come on, bro. Right?
Thanks for having me.
Scary stuff.
It's all scary.
You have been raising concerns about this for years. So these new revelations, what do you make of where this fits in?
Well, so people have been concerned forever about the militarization of space.
Right.
But in fact, ever since we've had access to space, in a way, it's been militarized because it's been used as a high ground for spying.
Right.
And it turns out to be not especially useful for parking weapons that you would then deploy later. Because space, you can't just stay there, you're in orbit.
Right.
If you want to deploy a weapon, you kind of have to be near where your target is supposed to be for you to hit it. Meanwhile, we already have intercontinental ballistic missiles.
Right.
Right.
You can launch a missile from any place on Earth and hit any other place within 45 minutes.
And that's kind of why I just said, if you're going to do it, there should be some type of missile defense, like specifically that has the ability to target these ICBMs. That would be the smartest way.
So space-based weaponry has been overplayed in the
Sci-fi
movies,
right,
and in our fears.
Right.
But really, another factor is if you're going to go up and start smashing satellites, that's forgive the expression, but it's like peeing in your own bathtub because you make a mess of all of space.
Well, I mean, explain, just to take a step back here.
Sure.
I mean,
we already have a lot of trash orbiting us anyway.
We're talking about what is being described as a nuclear-powered device that could jam satellites. What does that mean for just a regular layman?
Well, I haven't seen the reports, so
I want to
there's
see
a lot
them
still to be disclosed. But there are multiple ways of disabling other satellites. One of them is to smash it, but that's bad because then you create particles that could hurt your own satellites that might be passing through that zone. Another way is to just disable them electronically. They all use electronics. And the worry that it's nuclear powered to enable, you don't need nuclear, there's plenty of sunlight there. You can use solar panels to give your energy. So the idea that it's nuclear powered, I find I'm not entirely convinced that that's like a strategic move.
Maybe there's something that we don't know.
Well,
about
plus, if you detonate
part
a
of
nuclear device in a vacuum, most of the damage that you would ever have on Earth comes from a blast wave moving through the air. And if there's no air, the only damage the explosion would give you is you can get an electromagnetic pulse out of it, or there would be sort of radiative damage. But you can. But then that's so messy, and I'm just thinking militaristically.
Yeah, I mean,
you could
Why would you do that?
You could target a laser at a sensitive part of a satellite.
Guys, maybe because it's coming from Russia. Like, no disrespect here. Like, just be fully aware. Maybe they think, you know what, let's nuclear power it. And that sounds cool, right? While the rest of the world's looking at it like, oh no, they're going to do something absolutely terrible to our upper atmosphere. They're going to make it explode, let's say. Well, in all actuality, they just think nuclear power sounds cool, so they're using it to power their device. Instead of some like radioisotope decay that a lot of other people use, right? They're just like, nah, listen, we're going to nuclear power it. That's it.
And disable it. You don't have to like.
Sounds
blow stuff
cool.
up.
Yeah. I mean, I think that this is part of the story that I think might be confusing to people,
Yes.
which is, what's the point? What could Russia be trying to accomplish? And I mean, with all things, we were talking about the space race earlier, there's going to be a competitive nature of this. If you start to see Russia doing it, you're going to start to see China and the United States. What are the implications of that?
Hence the birth of our Space Force.
Yeah.
All right? They're tasked with protecting our assets in space and making sure that not only protecting the pre-existing assets, but
the future
making
ones.
sure that our future access to space is not denied by an adversary. So this is like part of the prime directive in the service of American security. I can tell you that in terms of destroying another satellite, like I said, there are already ways to do that. There are these sort of what they call kinetic kills, where you can take a missile, no explosives necessary at all, because the satellite's already moving 18,000 miles an hour. All you have to do is get in its way,
right,
and the thing
hit it.
Explodes. Russia's done it, China's done it, we've done it, India has done it. And then you can target the satellite at will. If you're stuck in orbit, you might not be near a satellite that you want to take out. You have to wait until the orbits line up. This just seems so inefficient.
Yeah.
So I'm just skeptical of how dangerous this thing can be relative to everyone's emotions attached to it.
It seems to suggest that there's probably some more to the
There's a lot more, obviously.
story here about what's really going on. It seems like also the United States is not super concerned about this in this moment. They say this could be some years away for whatever this is to actually materialize
deployed. Right.
and be deployed
Right.
out into space,
Right. So,
into the universe, I should say.
like I said, anything that people fear of it, we already have the capability of accomplishing.
Right. It's just maybe a different version of
Possibly a
something that we
different
can
version.
do.
An
Yeah.
electromagnetic pulse is interesting. You can send a
Yeah, that's what I'd be afraid of.
pulse of electromagnetic energy that basically fries all electric
Right.
circuits in a region. There's some movies that have portrayed this, by
Yeah.
the way. One of them
Many, 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 many movies.
was Ocean's 11, by the way.
Okay.
They created an EMP
That's
that
not the movie I thought you were going to
No,
say.
me neither.
knocked out the power grid
These old men.
to Las Vegas so
Right.
they can complete their heist. But if you do that, then you're taking out, you know how many satellites? There are thousands of
Yeah,
satellites.
it's a little
and not all of
imprecise.
them are just your enemy's satellite in one zone. Everybody's got satellites crossing. It should be viewed as sort of sacred international space.
Yeah.
And it's not, like international waters.
Hence the reason why we have Space Force, as you pointed out.
Yeah.
Neil deGrasse Tyson, always a treat to have you here.
Thank you. I'm finally here in person. I think we might
Thank
have
you
done
for
Zoom in the past.
explaining astrophysics to us. We needed that tonight.
All right, guys, listen. I don't think I'm, like, after hearing it, maybe I need to read more, okay? If it is just something that has the ability to take out a satellite, bro, I don't know about that, bro. I don't think I'm gonna stress over it. I'm not gonna lose sleep until I literally read every single thing about it. I'm not gonna sit here and jump to conclusions. But earlier in the video, I kind of explained the things that would absolutely frighten me, like a direct energy weapon. Okay, that would be frightening. That'd be like, okay, maybe we shouldn't allow that to happen, guys, right? Or any type of kinetic weapon coming from space. We don't need that neither. You get what I mean here? But if it's just something satellite oriented, bro, I mean, I get it. Listen, we have a lot of information stored there. We have a lot of our grid is kind of based off of, satellite connection at all times, right? We became a global society, kind of honestly based off of that. Can they send us back to the Stone Age if they decide? Right? Can they cut off communications completely? Yeah, I don't like that. Right? I don't like it, but it's not anything. It's not enough for me to be like, we need to warn the masses, let's say. But all right, listen, you guys all have an absolutely amazing day. Enjoy your day thoroughly.